Number 10. Jeremy Allen White and Addison Timlin. Jeremy made a big move in the acting world after his FX comedy series The Bear premiered on Disney Plus this past year, but he's actually been making people laugh, cry, and scream since starring as Lip Gallagher in the hit TV series Shameless, a show that I definitely haven't watched 10 times start to finish back to back. Definitely wouldn't do that. No sir. He met his future wife Addison on set of a film called After School in 2008. They were close friends for almost 12 years before becoming an official item in 2019. The relationship has mainly taken place behind the scenes apart from a few Instagram posts, but Jeremy's love for his wife has been well known since his acceptance speech at the 2023 Golden Globes, where he won the award for the best actor in a musical or comedy TV series. Unfortunately, roughly 2 months ago, Addison filed for a divorce from Jeremy with little to no explanation so far. 3 days following the divorce announcement, she posted a picture of herself with her daughter on Instagram and captioned it "single mom," which was apparently news to Jeremy, who was under the impression that they would be co-parenting. While their relationship may have ended in a mess, there might be a new one on the horizon, as Jeremy was spotted with Wizards of Waverly Place star Selena Gomez. Hey, Lip Gallagher and Alex Russo would be so cute together. Number 9. Natalie Portman. After 11 years of marriage, it was recently announced that Thor: Love and Thunder star Natalie Portman and her husband Benjamin Millipede will be separating following a very public and messy affair on Ben's part. Ben, who I assume is named after a kids cartoon, was spotted with a 25-year-old climate activist. While Portman was mad, she initially did try to work things out with Ben in an attempt to save their marriage, but the affair put a massive strain on their relationship. The couple had met on set of the 2009 drama Black Swan, with Ben acting as a scriptwriter for the project. While the affair had shaken up their relationship, when asked about the issues by Us Weekly, he said that he shared her pain and that he was sending her a new script. I don't know, while they may still be working together professionally, emotionally speaking, they have definitely checked out. Number 8. Drake Bell and Janet von Schmeling. Drake was a small screen sweetheart in the early 2000s, starring in several Nickelodeon shows and movies like Drake and Josh, The Amanda Bynes Show, and of course the live-action Fairly Odd Parents. He was on track to be a megastar in the world of Hollywood, but unfortunately is one of the many Nickelodeon stars who took a turn for the worse. He starred in a number of low-budget flicks over the years, but his status as a celebrity was gone at that point. The nail was finally driven into the coffin in 2021 when Drake was sentenced to 2 years of probation and 200 hours of community service after it was revealed that he had been grooming a younger fan for years. So if you see him in an orange jumpsuit cleaning graffiti off of a wall, you might know why. Recently, it was announced that his wife Janet had filed for divorce from Drake following that situation and another one where he was missing for 5 days on a bender doing God knows what with the strange women and friends that she had never met. On the actual paperwork, Vaughn has cited irreconcilable differences and has requested legal and physical custody of their younglings. In April of this year, Drake was reported missing only to turn up completely unharmed 5 days later, and according to Janet, Drake's mental health had slowly been declining in the last few years. His toxicity towards his partners is nothing new, as his ex Melissa Lingefelt accused him of being verbally manipulative and physically violent. Between his rocky history and declining mental health, we're happy to see that Janet got out of there before anything too crazy took place. Who knows how bad of a dad this guy could actually be. I mean, we all know he can't build a treehouse. Number 7. Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. Joe and Sophie got together back in 2016 after they had been set up by mutual friends, something that they had been trying to do for quite some time. They got together and instantly fell in love, getting married just over a year after getting together. Sophie admitted to Rolling Stones in 2019 that she was hesitant at first. Joe was this big musician and she was a big TV and film star, meaning that most of the time they would be on opposite ends of the world. Eventually she warmed up and got together with Joe officially, but the split came out of nowhere. For the most part, their relationship has seemed to be stable on the outside. They were never a part of a cheating scandal, which is surprising considering Joe's lack of discretion in the past. There were never any strange rumors or photos, they were just this happy couple. But as of September 1st, Joe Jonas has filed for a divorce from Sophie, with the only current information being that Joe has claimed the relationship to be irretrievably broken. Something pretty serious must have gone on in a very short amount of time. Only hours before the announcement, Joe posted a photo of himself to Instagram with his ring on full display. Despite the minimal amount of tea spilt so far, we are in for a very messy divorce. Number 6. Britney Spears and Sam Asghari. Britney and Sam's marriage is in shambles. The couple that got together back in 2016 seemed to be great on the outside. As Britney was getting better overall, her relationship with Sam became more and more serious. Sam was right there by her side through thick and thin. Eventually they tied the knot in 2022, which is why it was so devastating for her fans to learn that the couple had called it quits just a little over a month ago. The words used on the actual divorce paperwork say irreconcilable differences, which for Hollywood people just tends to mean nothing good. Sam was the one to officially file for the divorce, demanding that Britney pay spousal support and attorney fees. Since this news is so recent, there is no current update on how the couple are doing or how deep into the process they are. Britney once again made headlines in the media, something that she hadn't really done since the early 2010s. Her divorce was covered constantly, and the internet has been weighing in their decisions ever since. Number 5, Ariana Grande and Ethan Slater. So bear with me here for a moment, because Ariana is actually the cause of this divorce, so strap in. The pop star and Broadway giant are set to star in a film adaptation of the Broadway hit Wicked, following the story of the Wicked Witch before the events of The Wizard of Oz. Ariana plays Glinda the Good, and Slater is Bach, the main love interest of the Wicked Witch. It's ironic that Ariana is the good witch though, as she appears to have stolen another woman's man. Ethan was married to a woman named Lily J since 2018, and the pair even welcomed their first child into the world in 2022. Apparently, Ariana and Ethan fell in love on set and started dating behind the scenes. However, on-set insiders shared the information to Slater's wife, who was furious, and while the couple have agreed to raise their child as co-parents, Ethan officially filed for a divorce in July of this year. Number 4, Billy Porter and Adam Smith. Billy and Adam have been together for 6 years before recently announcing their amicable divorce. The American Horror Story star and his husband Adam met after being introduced by a mutual friend in 2009. They briefly dated but ultimately split before getting back together in 2015 and tying the knot a year later. Over the past few years, they have been one of Hollywood's favorite couples, regularly being spotted at award ceremonies and fancy events, just happily holding each other. It's so cute, it makes me want to vomit. Unfortunately, their relationship seems to have slowly fizzled out as they announced they would be filing for a divorce. The decision came from a conversation that they had and a decision that they made mutually, claiming they will remain friends for the rest of their lives. However, the online rumors and backlash suggest that something a little bit darker has taken place behind the scenes. They've asked everyone to give them some privacy, so why don't we skip some bad jokes and not get into the rumors and just move on to the next entry. Number 3, Shanine Doherty and Kurt Israenko. This past April, the alumni of Charmed filed for a divorce from her husband Kurt after 11 years of marriage. She was photographed in March without her wedding ring on display, causing many to assume that the divorce had been something planned for quite some time. As with most celebrities who file for divorce, the couple cited irreconcilable differences. Shanine claimed that the divorce was the last thing she wanted. Unfortunately, her hubby left her no options. While there was no real confirmation on what was happening behind the scenes, according to Shanine herself, Kurt's agent was intimately involved with their divorce. Neither Kurt nor his agent have spoken out about the rumors, probably because they're too busy getting down. Ooh. Number 2, Noel Gallagher and Sarah McDonald. The former Oasis frontman, now in his mid-50s, revealed that himself and his wife Sarah would be filing for a divorce after 12 years of marriage. According to Noel, the couple simply got bored with each other, something not uncommon for people in their 50s. Speaking with Ireland's Hot Press magazine, Sarah told the outlet that the split was because she was sick and tired of Noel's partying habits. Even at the age of 55, this guy is acting like he's 20 years old, coming home late and reeking of no-no juice. Noel denied the claims and said that it was because of 2020 and being stuck with her for months on end. Noel claimed that while he hated his time in isolation, it was a very revealing time in his life. He was able to work on songs that were unfinished, as well as create some new ones. Much like a ton of couples at that time, they were realizing that they just weren't good at sharing a space. Before, they were able to go out and about and be alone, but for a solid 6 months, it was just them in a house every single day. So we get it. Number 1, Reese Witherspoon and Jim Toth. Over the years, Reese made quite the name for herself, starring in films like Legally Blonde, Walk the Line, and Hot Pursuit. She was well known for being a comedic actor able to tap into her serious side when the time came for it. Along for the ride right up until 2023 was Jim Toth. Jim has starred in a handful of projects, but mainly acts as a producer, creating sitcoms like According to Jim. The couple first got together in 2011 and quickly tied the knot. Over the last 12 years, there was never a sign that this couple was headed for disaster, but that may be due in part to them not getting out much. Reese has continued to act fairly steadily over the years, but for some reason, she has been appearing less and less in the public. Perhaps there was something going on behind the scenes, as the announcement came only 2 days before they were supposed to celebrate their 12-year anniversary. According to a statement released by both of them, the decision was a mutual one, saying that they enjoyed their time with each other, but things just don't work out sometimes. That literally could have been the summarization for all of these splits.
Starting off our list today at number 10, we have Brad Pitt. It seems like Angelina Jolie is on a mission to ruin Brad Pitt's career, just like Amber Heard did to Johnny Depp. Back in 2022, people obtained a redacted FBI report that Angelina anonymously submitted a Freedom of Information Act request. In the documents, the actress alleged to the authorities that while Brad was under the influence, he was menacing towards her and 6 of their kids on September 14, 2016 during a flight from France to Los Angeles. The investigation would then be closed by November of 2022, and no charges were ever pursued, but that hasn't stopped Angelina from submitting more claims to the media. A source even close to Brad has claimed that both Brad and Angelina have had the documents in question for years, and by Angelina submitting the documents, it means that she is trying to revive issues that were solved to hurt Brad's career. With the documents being filed with evidence that wasn't really accurate or proven, Brad has been lucky enough to escape Angelina's hands of destruction for now, but it seems like she doesn't want to give up just yet, and we could see her ruin his career very shortly. Number 9. Tyga. At one point, there wasn't a song people didn't know when it came to Tyga's career, but after he and Kylie Jenner split, it seems like a lot of people chose to abandon Tyga altogether, which is pretty sad as he's an amazing artist. It seems like now when his songs do come on, everybody in the room goes, oh my god, I forgot about this song, and it proves after his relationship ended with Kylie, he became pretty irrelevant. Even back in 2017, Kylie reportedly had to ask Kanye West to help Tyga with his stalling career because she saw her ex was struggling after the split and she felt really bad for him. An inside source close to Kylie would then reveal to Hollywood Life that Kylie doesn't want to see her ex fall apart just because they weren't together. Once Kylie realized that Tyga's career was stalling after their breakup, she was a little concerned, so she reached out to Kanye to see what they could do to revive Tyga's career. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Number 8. Rupert Saunders. When British director Rupert Saunders was chosen to direct Snow White and the Huntsman for his feature film debut, it seemed like a start of a pretty promising career for Rupert. But just weeks after the film lackluster theatrical debut, he and Kristen Stewart were captured in a compromising position together. While both came out to issue public apologies about the affair, as Kristen cheated on her Twilight co-star Robert Pattinson, Rupert was unfaithful to his wife of 10 years, Liberty Ross. While Kristen's career was able to continue on throughout the scandal, it would take Rupert years to secure a second feature of his directorial gig with his 2017 Ghost in a Shell, which was crushed by critics, by the way. At the time, he was also still imploring the public to forgive and forget, but even when he came out to say, everyone makes mistakes and I am bound to make many more mistakes and I wouldn't expect my life to be exciting if I didn't, people still couldn't forgive and forget, and it's caused his art in the directing field to come to a complete halt. Number 7. Kris Humphries. It seems like if you enter into the Kardashian family, in even the smallest of capacities, your reputation is at risk. I mean, just ask Jordan Woods and Scott Disick. But if you need more proof, you can always look at the long list of ex-friends, ex-stylists, ex-boyfriends, and ex-husbands. And this is exactly what happened to NBA star Kris Humphries, who became a laughingstock of both Hollywood and the basketball scene after his highly publicized marriage to Kim Kardashian ended after just 72 days. Just after, in December 2011, Kris would find himself being booed during basketball games, and he would be put into a position where he bounced from team to team before landing with the Philadelphia 76ers, but his time with the team wouldn't last long as he would be waived from their roster in October 2017. And that would be the last time Kris would professionally dribble a basketball on the court. That same year, Kim would then sit down and an interview with Watch What Happens Live where she would admit that she knew while she was on her honeymoon with Chris that their relationship wasn't going to work out. Now it seems like Chris has found a new passion in life as he co-owns several Five Guy burger shops and is a franchisee of a salad eatery. Number 6. Robin Thicke. After Robin Thicke dominated the charts for the entire summer of 2013 with his hit single Blurred Lines, Robin's career essentially died overnight after his wife Paula Patton filed for divorce in October 2014, citing irreconcilable differences as the cause for their split. According to TMZ, Robin tried to win back Paula by releasing his sappy album Paula in 2014, but it was apparently a flop with its namesake and his fans, as the album only sold 530 copies in its debut week in the UK. And from there, things only got worse for Robin, as months after filing to the end of their marriage, Paula not only accused Robin of cheating on her with several different women, but she also accused him of physical and emotional abuse, infidelity, and even said he had an addiction to substances. Then during the couple's bitter custody battle for their son Julian, Paula then asked the court to grant her a temporary restraining order against Robin, which was ultimately granted until the courts ordered them to have shared custody of their son. Number 5. Meg Ryan. During Meg Ryan's heyday, she was one of America's most in-demand screen sweethearts, as she went on to nab the romantic lead in a slew of successful pictures that included Sleepless in Seattle, When Harry Met Sally, and You Got Mail. But just as she was rising to the top to be the girl next door, her image would be shattered after rumors started to claim that she was having an affair with Proof of Life co-star Russell Crowe. The tabloid's frenzied affair was then publicly perceived as the reason for her divorce from her husband of 9 years, and what led to the serious decline in her popularity. Later, Meg would deny her fling with Russell for being the reason behind her divorce when she told Harper Bazaar, "I definitely have moments of wanting to straighten it all out and tell everyone what really went down, but you know, who would I be proving anything to?" Though there may be plenty of blame to go around, Meg's affair was the beginning of the end of her career, and her household name would be left behind in the 90s. And number 4, we have Ryan Philippe. Ryan Philippe's relationship with Reese Witherspoon was intense when the pair starred as the romantic leads in the 1999 romantic drama Cruel Intentions, and attracted a generation of followers deeply invested in the couple's marriage and their 2 kids. Many thought their love would be a happily ever after, but when their union fell apart 8 years later, many fans would be furious after rumors emerged and claimed that Ryan had cheated on Reese. That very same year, Ryan allegedly stepped out with his stop-loss co-star Abby Cornish. Even though Reese and Ryan went on to be successful co-parents for their kids, Ryan's career hasn't quite revived from all the negative press associated with the pair's breakup, and seemingly overnight he lost the Hollywood heartthrob status he once boasted in films such as I Know What You Did Last Summer and Flags of Our Fathers. Since Ryan has grown weary of the public's cruel criticism, he once told Howard Stern in 2010 that he was tired of being blamed and that he didn't feel like he deserved all the scrutiny as things just happen. Number 3. Jude Law. Jude Law's affair with his children's nanny became a true celebrity spectacle after the actor's secret went public in 2005. It would eventually cause his team to force him to issue an apology to his then fiancée, Sienna Miller, for the affair. In his apology, he would say, "I just want to say I'm deeply ashamed and upset I've hurt Sienna and the people close to us. There is no defense for my action, which I sincerely regret." While this wouldn't be the first time he's been accused of infidelity with his partners in the past, the high-profile nature of his relationship with Miller caused more damage to Jude's career, as before his transgressions, Jude enjoyed an A-list status in leading roles such as Cold Mountain and Closer. But after the affair, it took him many years to recoup his mainstream appeal by the way of Sherlock Holmes. While his career seems to be doing just fine these days, it's probably just because he's been keeping his personal life pretty low-key. Number 2. Tiger Woods. Few professional golfers have earned the kind of household name status of Tiger Woods, and even fewer have watched their reputations fade away as they sunk into the mud like Tiger did in 2009, after his extramarital affairs were exposed, after Tiger's wife at the time, Ellen Nordegren, gave birth to the couple's second child. The tabloids would unearth one of Tiger's relationships with another woman. After Tiger lost his family-friendly face, he would lose millions in endorsement deals, and he was even to blame for billions of shareholder losses. Even his golf game suffered as a result of his personal drama. Back in 2013, Woods would briefly recover his career, but his personal activities tarnished his image again after new allegations surfaced and claimed he cheated on beloved Olympic skier Lindsey Vonn. And while most of the public has forgotten about Tiger's past transgressions, it seems like his reputation may still be holding him back from success. And coming in number 1 today, we have Ned Fulmer. So ex-BuzzFeed employee Ned Fulmer is known because of his role with the popular YouTube channel The Try Guys, as he helped them grow an audience to tune of millions on BuzzFeed's publication platform before he and his colleagues decided to go independent. In addition to the cheating entertaining content with his colleagues, Ned went on to brand himself as the ultimate family guy just after he and his wife Ariel marked their 5th anniversary in 2017. He shared that he had no doubt about picking her as his partner, as it was love at first sight. However, in September 2022, Ned would prove otherwise, as just over 10 years after the couple tied the knot, the house that Ned built came tumbling down, as it would be exposed that Ned had cheated on his wife with a member of the staff. The cheating allegation was then later confirmed by Ned himself when he put out an Instagram statement saying, "Family should have always been my priority, but I lost focus and had a consensual workplace relationship." The Try Guys then went on to remove Ned from the platform and later announced that Ned wouldn't be making any appearances on the pre-recorded material going forward. Starting off our list today at number 10, we have Kanye West. After losing his billionaire status due to brand endorsement deals canceling their partnership with Kanye, after he started to spread hate speech across the internet, Kanye would soon be left with only $400 million to his name, which is a far cry from the $1.8 billion he used to be worth in the first half of 2022. To make matters even worse, after his divorce was finalized, he would then be ordered to pay Kim Kardashian another $2.4 million per year, which equals out to be $200,000 a month for child support. He also needs to split the cost of healthcare, security, and educational expenses with his ex-wife in the process. But the money altogether is just really strange, as Kim is already worth $1.7 billion. Not only would Kanye lose a large sum of his money, but he would also lose his $60 million home that he shared with Kim during their settlement. Altogether, after 6 years being married to Kanye, he would ultimately end up losing $2.1 billion in assets that he shared with his ex-wife, which included a mansion in California, in Calabasas, a Miami condo, and 2 ranches in Wyoming, art, vehicles, jewelry, and livestock. Number 9, Amber Heard. When Amber Heard filed for divorce from Johnny Depp in 2016 after being married to the actor for 15 months, she would later be awarded $7 million in the divorce settlement, which she said she would be donating to charity. But the process wasn't as clean cut, as the pair's court battles quickly turned ugly as Amber started to spread lies to ruin Johnny's career. The former couple then went on to spend most of 2020 and 2021 in court for a libel case against UK's The Sun. After Depp lost the suit in appeal in 2022, the pair would then return to court for a defamation trial Johnny brought against Amber over a 2018 article she penned for The Washington Post. When the court proceedings for the case kicked off on April 11, 2022, both actors made bombshell allegations of physical, emotional, and mental abuse against each other. On June 1st, a 7-person jury then reached a verdict and decided that Johnny proved his ex-wife defamed him. The jury then awarded Johnny with another $15 million in damages, though Amber would only have to pay $10 million due to Virginia law cap on punitive damages. She would win 1 of 3 defamation counts, and she was awarded $2 million in damages. Both parties appealed, but back in December, Amber announced she settled with her ex, and he donated the $1 million he received from her to charity. After all the expense, Amber is now worth -$6 million. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? So don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Number 8. Wiz Khalifa. While it's honestly pretty easy to look at numbers that were involved in Wiz Khalifa and Amber Rose's divorce, the numbers alone will make you wince. Thank God the couple had a prenup. Then Wiz Khalifa would have lost more than he was set to lose during their divorce. As per their prenup, Wiz Khalifa would be forced to fork out $1 million to pay Amber Rose, and he would be forced to pay Amber child support payments of $14,800. TMZ would then later report that Wiz was able to keep most of his assets, which included their shared home and 10 of their cars. It's also worth noting that there wasn't any hard feelings between the pair, as after their divorce they were both seen celebrating together in an X-rated club for one final hurrah. Number 7. Steven Spielberg. Just because Steven Spielberg was the greatest director alive, it didn't mean that he was immune to problems with his love life. At the height of his career in 1985, Steven probably made the biggest mistake of his life when he didn't make Amy Irving sign a proper prenup before marrying the actress. Amy, being known best for her role in Carrie, was considered to be one of the best actors of her generation. Even before the pair got married, they had a pretty rocky relationship, and at one point they had this pretty messy breakup that even caused Amy to lose out on a major role in Indiana Jones. The two finally did reconnect and got married in 1985, but by the time they filed for divorce and finalized everything, Steven would be ordered to pay Amy a large sum of $100 million, as at this time the judge saw it fit because the popular director was worth over $1 billion. So you're probably wondering how the actress was able to obtain so much money. Well, because when Steven wrote the prenup, he did it on a napkin, and the judge ruled out that the napkin document wasn't legally valid. Number 6. Janet Jackson. So we clearly live in a society that favors men. If you really think about it, when we think of men in a divorce, we usually think that they're the ones that have to pay big when it comes to expenses. But apparently gender knows no bounds when it comes to money and fame, as some of the biggest female stars have lost millions of dollars during their split with their partner. When Janet Jackson secretly got married to songwriter Renee Elizondo in 1991, it was kind of a really big shock for everyone when he filed for a divorce in 1999. While many suspected that the pair had gotten married at some point, no one realized it was for that long and that it could fall apart also behind closed doors, especially since he was always around, with Renee producing some of her biggest hits, directing some of her music videos, and even using his hand to cover Janet on her infamous Rolling Stone cover shot. No one would know that later Janet would lose millions after the divorce was finalized. Renee filed to question its validity and ended up walking away from the marriage with a whopping sum of $10 million. Number 5. Scott Disick. Back in 2022, tensions between Scott Disick and the Kardashian-Jenner family would be at an all-time high after Scott took it upon himself to discuss the current situation going on with him and Kourtney, and his expression would also linger over how he felt about his family as a whole. The whole situation would come after Scott was left fuming because the family chose to leave him out of family events, something they've never chosen to do before. On an episode of The Kardashians, fans would see Scott letting all of his feelings loose by telling the entire Kardashian family how he really feels about being left out of the family events. When Kris invited Scott to a diner for brunch, she would tell him that they were celebrating her birthday there because she was trying to spare Scott's feelings, because she was actually having a bigger party at her new home and didn't invite him. While Kris was lying to Scott, he quickly caught on that Kris was being untruthful with him. It would then quickly come out that she was having a party and didn't want to invite Scott because Kourtney and Travis would be there. Scott would then be very emotional because he felt like Kris was no longer treating him like family because he was no longer with Kourtney. To make matters even worse, Kendall left him out of her birthday festivities, and Scott having no family, he would be left feeling heartbroken that his only family has completely abandoned him. I'm mostly disappointed in Khloe in this situation, as she's had such a close relationship with Scott, and it's to the point that she just threw him to the side like he was nothing. Number 4. Harrison Ford. Once upon a time, Harrison Ford was married to Melissa Matheson, and they were the poster child of what people used to use as proof to explain that Hollywood stars could stick it out and make a long and happy marriage work. But unfortunately, all things good come to an end. After 21 years of marriage, when the two shocked the world and filed for divorce, Melissa would then walk away with not only just $85 million, but she would also walk away with a percentage of all future royalty earnings earnings from films made during their marriage. This included his earnings that he made in the Indiana Jones franchise. The pair had met in 1979 on the set of Apocalypse Now. Melissa was working on a script and he had a small role. But it's surprising that Melissa was able to walk away with so much money. She was pretty successful on her own, as she was famous for writing E.T. for Steven Spielberg. While we all thought the couple were in love, we all failed to realize that things took a rocky turn for the couple in the last years of their relationship, with the trial separation and a lot of late night bar hopping for Harrison Ford. Number 3, Madonna. It's not like Madonna's ex-husband Guy Ritchie wasn't successful, as he's the man responsible for Sherlock Holmes and Snatch. However, he just wasn't as successful as Madonna, so he took everything he could get. When the pair first headed towards divorce court, it wasn't really a big surprise that he would ask to receive a pretty huge sum of money, because the guy was pretty much a gold digger from the start. Also, the pair did have a pretty rocky 7-year marriage. At one point during the time together, Madonna even pointed out that she was feeling incarcerated by Ritchie, as she felt like Ritchie was really interfering with her potential as an artist, and it was one of the reasons behind why she felt like the marriage had to go down. In the process, if Madonna knew how much her freedom would cost, she probably wouldn't have gotten married to Ritchie, as near the end she reportedly had to pay him $85 million in a divorce settlement. But honestly, if you have to take someone for that much money, it really says a lot about you, especially if you're a man taking that much money from a hardworking woman. Number 2, Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's no big surprise that Maria Shriver would file for divorce from Arnold Schwarzenegger after she found out not only was he having an affair, but he was also having an affair with the help, and he even had a child with her. Among one of the most trickiest separations Hollywood has ever seen, 4 years after Maria filed for divorce, they would still be officially married, as sources would claim Arnold just kept delaying the inevitable. Maybe he knew that there was no way he was walking away from this divorce without paying big, and really, he would be right, since the pair did not have a prenup according to California law, which meant that Maria was entitled to half of his fortune. Feeling bad about the whole thing and how it ended, Arnold then threw in some extra cash as a good gesture. The exact number was never officially released, but estimates put Arnold's fortune around $500 million to $750 million, which means Maria likely got a huge settlement around $250 to $375 million. And coming in number 1 today, we have Michael Jordan. When Michael Jordan got divorced to his first wife, Juanita Benoit, he paid one of the largest amounts we've seen someone ever pay in a divorce settlement. Shortly after the pair got married in 1989, they signed a post-nuptial agreement that would grant Juanita half of Jordan's fortune in a divorce. That means when the couple decided to go their separate ways in 2006, Juanita ended up receiving a whopping amount of $168 million. She also got their Chicago mansion, custody of their kids. However, after that many years, there's clearly a lot of respect between the two and they had no hard feelings, as when their divorce ended, it was clean and fair and none of them aired out their dirty laundry to the press or public. Number 10, Pete Davidson and Cassie David. Cassie David highlighted her experience dating Pete Davidson in the book No One Asked for This. In the book, Cassie explained she met Pete when her dad Larry David hosted an episode on Saturday Night Live back in 2016. The two then started dating soon after. Pete would get a cartoon portrait of Cassie tattooed on his arm and a tattoo of her name on his ring finger, followed by her favorite emoji. In the book, Cassie claimed she was fearful to end things with Pete due to his sensitive state of his mental health, but decided they needed an initial breakup because she was unable to convince him that she loved him. A few days later, she would call him back and say she made a mistake, but Pete said he was the happiest he's ever been, and then would dump her for good 2 days later in a text message so he could get with Ariana Grande. I mean, it is Ariana Grande, so I don't blame him. However, at least give the person a benefit of the doubt and do it in person. At number 9, we have Katy Perry and Russell Brand. In Katy Perry's heartfelt documentary Pardon Me, the singer admitted that the couple's hectic work schedules and her not being ready for children led to the failure of the couple's marriage. Who can forget when watching the documentary, Katy got a text message from Russell before going on stage for her California Dream Tour. The scene viewers would watch would be devastating as they watched their favorite pop icon break down in front of the camera. Although Russell decided to take nothing from from her during the divorce, he would leave her with a broken heart, and then she would later write about it in her song Wide Awake. Russell Lynn later said Katy being on tour made his heart grow colder, and he also came to the realization he didn't want to be part of the lavish lifestyle anymore. Number 8. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Now, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's breakup has been one of the messiest breakups Hollywood has ever seen, mainly because they're split back in 2016, and the drama is still going on. Now, with Brad Pitt recently opening up about his life after the messy split from Angelina, it makes you question what kind of person is Angelina Jolie really? Angelina would file for divorce from Brad Pitt following a heated altercation during a private plane ride. The flight would lead her to accuse Brad of a and during this time period, he would spend time at the studio to work on his art skills. Now, his artwork has allowed him to focus on his life and where it's all gone wrong with his relationship. It also allowed the actor to realize which friendships made him feel safe. Now, Angelina and Brad are currently involved in a court battle in which Angelina has brought up some serious accusations against Brad. Despite the two finalizing their divorce back in 2019, the two remain in a custody battle over their French winery. And number 7, we have Iggy and Nick Young. After Iggy split from NBA player Nick Young, the star would come out to say that she broke up with Nick when she found out he had brought another woman into their home while she was away. Let's just say Nick thought Iggy wouldn't be watching the security footage, but she did, and he was caught. It was later revealed that Nick also cheated on Iggy with the mother of his child, and that mother would soon be expecting her second child with Nick's kid. He definitely did her dirty on that one. Iggy then took to Twitter to say it's never easy to part ways with the person you planned your entire future with. Later, a video would be leaked by Nick's teammate that would highlight Nick bragging about cheating on Iggy with other women. At number 6, we have J-Lo and A-Rod. Now, remember that time when J-Lo was going to settle down with A-Rod and then it never happened? Shortly after J-Lo ended her engagement to A-Rod, Jennifer found herself back in the arms of Ben Affleck. Now, this would come 17 years after Ben and her called off their initial engagement, so he could get with Jennifer Garner. Ben and Jennifer would pack on the PDA all around the world, and they were planning it for the long haul this time. Jennifer would then later say A-Rod can't take a hit. An insider would then say she gets how Alex feels after they spent 5 years together, and that they had plans to marry, and everyone was rooting for them, but at the end, it was done. All J-Lo wanted for him was to move on, and she wished him the best. At number 5, we have Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. Now, the breakup between Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber was extremely awkward for the teens because for the longest time, they couldn't seem to quit each other. The pair both started dating on and off from the year 2010 to 2015. They were also seen hanging out just before he got engaged to Hailey Baldwin, which caused a lot of speculation that Hailey stole Justin from Selena. Now, Hailey did come clean in the Call Her Daddy podcast recently to say none of those rumors were true, and that she and Selena were on good terms. The model and singer were also just captured in a photo together at a gala, which shows the two are on good terms with one another. At number 4, we have Jason Sudeikis and Olivia Wilde. So Jason and Olivia's breakup has been on every tabloid headline for the last couple of weeks. On November 13th, 2020, news would break that Olivia and Jason had decided to part ways. However, an inside source would then reveal the couple had actually split beforehand. Now, Jason has come out to say Olivia left him for her new boyfriend, Harry Styles. However, Olivia has stated that the two split long before she got with her new boyfriend, and it's simply because they fell in love and she didn't see a path moving forward with Jason any longer. Now, with the nanny coming out with some allegations and Olivia getting served while on set, this breakup has seemed to gotten really messy, and it will probably continue as the couple dispute over the custody of their 2 children. At number 3, we have Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes used to be the ultimate power couple. However, due to Tom's religious beliefs, their relationship would dissolve in a blink of an eye. Now, Cruise has been involved with Scientology for quite some time now, and in 2012, Katie had to use a calculated plan to escape her marriage from Tom Cruise. She even planned to gain full custody of her child. Katie had to do this in order to escape the Church of Scientology's control. Katie then would be granted full custody of her child, and the court would then state her child had to have no connections with the Church of Scientology. So it makes you wonder what goes on in the Church of Scientology that made Katie want to run and protect her daughter from it. Number 2, we have Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. After a long time on and off, the couple announced their split in 2019. Things got a little messy between the two, as Miley quickly moved on with MTV reality star Caitlyn Carter. Miley was out having fun with her new girlfriend, while Liam was left feeling heartbroken when photos of Caitlyn and Miley started to surface. Liam completely hit the roof, and it would be the last straw for the couple's relationship. After finding out Miley's relationship with Caitlyn, Liam would soon shortly file for a divorce, and shortly after, Miley would then split from Caitlyn and move on with songwriter Cody Simpson. However, those two split back in 2020. It seems like Miley wasn't ready to settle down at the time, and hopefully soon the artist can find someone she truly loves. At number 1, we have Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Kim filed for divorce in February of 2021, almost 7 years after being married to Kanye. Ye hasn't taken it well at all. Ultimately, the divorce led to Kanye's downward spiral, and due to recent events, you can tell his overall mental state has been extremely effective. When news first broke of Kim getting with the comedian Pete Davidson, Kanye lost his cool and began harassing the two stars, to the point it drove a wedge between Pete and Kim, and they had to end their relationship. Kanye has even gone as far to say that Kim won't let him see the kids, and he's even been banned from going to family events. But I mean, with all the actions he's been doing lately, I don't blame Kim or her family from wanting to hide their kids from witnessing what's truly going on with Kanye.
Starting off this countdown, we have Gigi Hadid and Zayn Malik. The history between these two is wild. They've been dating on and off for years. They started dating late 2015. They called it quits in March of 2018. 2 months later, they were spotted together again. In January of 2019, they announced that they broke up again. Zayn said that he had a lot of issues that Gigi just couldn't help him get through. A year later, it was announced that they were back together, and then they gave birth to their first child, Kai. A little while later, there was an incident between Zayn and Gigi's mom, Yolanda. She claims that he grabbed and shoved her into a dresser during a fight. She also claims that he yelled a number of profanities at her. She also said that Malik reportedly would yell at Gigi a number of times over the phone when he wasn't in the US. One thing he said on the phone to her was, I quote, "Strap on some effing balls and defend your partner against your effing mother in my house." Obviously, due to all this and more, Yolanda does not want Zayn in Gigi's life, let alone near Kai. So this whole thing is the definition of messy. In our 9th spot, we have Grimes and Elon Musk. After being together for 3 years, the pair called it quits in September of 2021. Apparently, this happened due to the fact that he was always traveling for his work at SpaceX and Tesla, whereas Grimes mainly works in LA. But apparently, for quite some time after their separation, Grimes and their baby were still living with Elon Musk. The two maintained that they were semi-separated but remained on good terms, which I don't think was always the case. Later, Grimes revealed that the two had gotten into an argument over their baby's name and fought days before she went into labor. Then in July, Musk tweeted out saying that pronouns suck, and Grimes did not like this at all. She replied, and I quote, "I love you, but please turn off your phone and give me a dial." She continued on saying, "I cannot support hate. Please stop this. I know this isn't your heart." She quickly deleted this reply, and Musk unfollowed her the next day. Moving on to number 8, we have Addison Rae and Bryce Hall. TikTok stars Addison Rae and Bryce Hall called it quits in March 2021. The pair began their romance in November of 2020. It wasn't long for the two to call it quits after Bryce Hall was suspected of cheating on Addison, although Bryce denied any of the claims. But this eventually led to the pair unfollowing each other on Instagram. Despite Bryce claiming that all the cheating allegations were false, he said that it drastically impacted their relationship. He said, and I quote, "I'll be honest, I broke up with her because I was completely stressed out with it all. I paid so much in lawyer fees to get all this bullshit off my plate." And even though Addison found a way to trust him again, it still put a lot of strain on their relationship. In our 7th spot, we have Tana Mowry and Mod Sun. Seems like Tana Mowry broke girl code after going after her ex-girlfriend's ex-boyfriend, Mod Sun. It's confusing, I know. She dated Bella Thorne, who dated Mod Sun previously, and apparently they were in like a polyamorous relationship. I don't really know. It's confusing. In 2019, Bella took to Twitter accusing Tana of breaking girl code. She never revealed what she did, but it seems like she was upset about Tana and Mod Sun dating. They kind of had a thing for a while, but stayed apart to avoid drama. Then Tana went on tour with Mod Sun just before the pandemic started. Shortly after, the two went to LA and quarantined together. Anyways, in August of 2021, in a podcast, Tana revealed why the pair broke up. And it wasn't because of the Bella drama. It was because of Tana's OnlyFans. In the podcast, she said, and I quote, "The literal, actual reason we broke up, we were doing perfectly fine as a couple, literally perfectly fine. And then I wanted to start an OnlyFans, and he wasn't. He was not down for it. That was sincerely the reason. I am not shaming him for this because I think obviously, like, let's say I were to talk to him about it in an hour, let's say we sit down, I think he would have seen what it is and what it's become, and become more accepting. But he was very much kind of, you're gonna become a star." And I was like, you've dated literal stars. So, yikes, that's all I gotta say to that one, yikes. In our 6th spot today, we have Aaron Carter and Melanie Martin. This is another very rocky relationship. The pair started dating in January of 2020, and it's been messy ever since. A week after welcoming their first child together, Aaron announced that they had split. In a tweet, he said, "Due to personal reasons, Melanie Martin and I have decided to go our separate ways." He continued on saying, and I quote, "There has been a very big lie, and my sister communicating with my ex-fiance ruined everything, considering she knew what Angel tried to do to me in court. Thanks, Angel, you ruined my family." So apparently Melanie was in talks with his estranged twin sister, Angel Carter, and he was not too happy about that. In another tweet, he said, and I quote, "I've never felt more devastated and betrayed and lied to in my entire life. This is such a horrible situation considering Prince doesn't deserve any of this, and now it's my job to just be a single father, and that's what's gonna happen." Not only that, but Carter posted on Instagram saying that he was trapped inside of his bedroom because Melanie wouldn't let him leave his house. In fact, because of everything that was going down, Child Protective Services actually showed up at their house. And of course, Carter had to go live on Instagram when they did. But then apparently a week later, the pair were back together, so I honestly don't know anymore. Are they still together? Are they broken up again? I don't know. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. Since 2016, Khloe and Tristan have been dating on and off. On June 21st of 2021, the pair called it off again. Now, many people would agree that their relationship isn't the best, and that's because Tristan has cheated on Khloe a number of times. Khloe even said that she has felt betrayed by him, but still continues to go back to him. And just this year, it was revealed that Tristan is the father to a 3rd child. He was dating Khloe at the time that his son was conceived. Like, come on, Khloe, you deserve so much better. In our 4th spot, we have John Mulaney and Anna Marie Tendler. After 6 years of marriage together, the couple announced on May 10th that they have split up. John's spokesperson said, and I quote, "John will not have any further comment as he continues to focus on his recovery and getting back to work." Meanwhile, Anna said, and I quote, "I am heartbroken that John has decided to end our marriage. I wish him support and success as he continues his recovery." So it was John who decided to file for divorce. Later, it was revealed that the pair was going through a rough patch, while also experiencing irreconcilable differences in their marriage. Just months later, John got together with Olivia Munn. Fans were shocked at how fast he moved on. And only months into their new relationship, they announced that they were expecting their first child, which was shocking. Not only due to the fact how fast it all happened, but also because Mulaney has also made it clear that he didn't want kids. Moving on to number 3, we have Alex Rodriguez and Jennifer Lopez. J-Lo and A-Rod first met in 1999 when Alex was still playing baseball. Then again at a Yankees game in 2005, but at the time they were both married to other people. Eventually though, things fell into place and the pair began dating in 2017. 2 years later, in 2019, they got engaged. But in March of 2021, the pair split. According to J-Lo's friend that talked about their split, she said, and I quote, "J-Lo insisted on it. There are too many issues that are unresolved. She has been pretty miserable and didn't think it was in her best interest to stay with Alex." Then, only months later, rumors swirled about J-Lo and Ben Affleck getting back together. And now it's official. They are. Hashtag Bennifer for life. In our 2nd spot, we have Shia LaBeouf and Margaret Qualley. This pair started dating after starring in a music video together, Love Me Like You Hate Me. However, in January of 2021, the pair split after Shia got into legal troubles with his ex-girlfriend FKA Twigs. They split just weeks after his ex filed a lawsuit against him. She accused him of sexual battery, assault, and emotional distress. Shia denied all the allegations, but Margaret did not want to be with a man accused of such. And in our #1 spot today, we have Kim and Kanye. Of course, they had to make it to #1 on today's list because everything going on between them is wild. On January 5th, 2021, news broke that Kim and Kanye were ending their marriage, and on February 19th, 2021, Kim officially filed for divorce. The two have 4 children together, and that right now is causing a lot of drama. Apparently, Kim was keeping the kids away from Kanye. Kim wants full custody, but obviously Kanye wants joint custody. Kim says that Kanye is unstable, Kanye says that Kim's unstable. It's just really messy. And now it's even worse when you throw Pete Davidson into the mix. That's just adding more fuel to the fire. On June 10th, 2021, during the Keeping Up with the Kardashians season finale, Kim said, and I quote, "After turning 40 this year, I realized, no, I don't want a husband that lives in a completely different state. To me, I thought, oh my God, that's when we're getting along the best. But then, that is sad to me, and that's not what I want." Yikes, that's a hard thing to admit. And I feel like their situation is going to just keep getting messier before it gets better.
At number 10, Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt. Before Brangelina took over Hollywood, Bennifer was a thing. Actually, I don't know if they had a ship name, but if not, I just made one. You're welcome. Jennifer and Brad's romance story started in the 90s, meeting for the first time in 94, but going on their first date in 98. After 2 years of dating, the wedding of the year took place in 2000 on a bluff in Malibu because nothing says romance and everlasting love like standing on a cliff. Things were okay until Angelina came into the picture after she and Brad met while working on Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Fast forward to 2005 and Bennifer was no more. They filed for divorce, making room for Brangelina. It was a whirlwind breakup because of the cheating scandals as Angie became the other woman of sorts, and even as things died down over the years, tabloids would bring this drama up from time to time, almost making it seem as though things aren't exactly over for this unfortunate love triangle. It seems as though Brad and Jen have reunited in 2020 as they are both now single, but I don't know if you can really call it a comeback from that heavily publicized breakup. At number 9, Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson. 2013 was a rough time for Twilight fans. Not only were they still heartbroken and mourning the death of their beloved vampiric saga, but they were also mourning the death of their OTPs, Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson. Since the beginning of the Twilight franchise, fans were obsessed with Kristen and Rob's relationship, wishing that they would take their on-screen love into the real world. For years, the actors had shut down rumors that they were dating until 2011 when they finally confirmed that they were together. Fans were ecstatic and soon came speculations that a proposal was soon to come, but unfortunately that moment never came. In 2013, while working on the film Snow White and the Huntsman, Kristen was caught cheating on Rob with the film's director, Rupert Sanders. Paparazzi had speculated that something was going on between them for a while, and so they finally got confirmations of this affair when the two were caught getting cozy together. When news of this scandal broke, it got crazy, and soon we saw statements from Rupert's wife, as well as news that Robert and Kristen had broken up officially. This ended with Kristen being labeled a homewrecker, and a lot of people still hate her for it. Rob's heartbreak was heavily publicized, and most people took his side, but really, I think their whole relationship was just a publicity stunt, and they needed a wild way to end it. But what do you guys think? Now before I continue on with the video, please consider leaving a like on this video and check out my gaming channel, Viper Girl, if you are looking for some more fun content as well. At number 8, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. By now, everyone and their mothers know about Johnny and Amber. Their relationship was highly publicized last year following their trial, but their initial breakup was also a messy ordeal, even though it happened nearly 5 years ago. Johnny and Amber first filed for divorce in 2016, but was finally finalized in 2017. Their divorce proceedings were quite the scandal, as Amber made the accusation that Johnny had been abusive towards her, though now we all know that that was a big ol' ball of BS. In their divorce settlement, Amber was awarded $7 million to be paid by Johnny, and Amber claimed that she would be donating the money to 2 charities, which also turned out to be a lie. And they went their separate ways as Johnny kept their properties and cars. The biggest story to come out of this breakup was the bombshell of Johnny's treatment of his wife. Johnny lost a lot of work because of her claims, and his name was pretty much ruined because of it. Fast forward to 2020, and the drama continues, making this one of the messiest breakups ever. At number 7, Taylor Swift and Calvin Harris. Now obviously we couldn't make a list talking about the messiest breakups without including Taylor Swift. I mean, she's built her entire career on breakup songs, and you obviously can't have the breakup song without the breakup. Arguably, one of Taylor's messiest breakups was with DJ Calvin Harris, and though it didn't end up with a lot of upfront hostility, there was a lot of shade, a lot of jealousy, and a lot of drama. After a brief relationship, Taylor and Calvin broke up in 2016, and when news broke of their split, it was speculated that they broke up because their spark had fizzled out and that things just weren't working out for them. No hostility and no drama, they just fell out of love. Things were fine until Taylor went public with her new relationship with Marvel actor Tom Hiddleston a little over 2 weeks after breaking up with Calvin. This started to stir drama because some fans as well as some news sources believed that Taylor was only dating Tom to make Calvin jealous. Tom and Taylor was seen traveling together and meeting Taylor's parents. Meanwhile, Calvin was being bombarded by paparazzi asking about his take on this new relationship. Things escalated into the music world as reports came out involving Rihanna into Taylor and Calvin's relationship troubles, and Calvin even alleged that Taylor was still texting him weeks after they were over. This breakup was unnecessarily messy, but it made for some good music content for Taylor. At number 6, Zayn Malik and Perry Edwards. Another complicated relationship here, this time with former One Direction member Zayn Malik and Little Mix member Perry Edwards. After meeting in 2011, dating in 2012, and getting engaged in 2013, Zayn and Perry's perfect world came crumbling down in 2015 after a dramatic and messy public breakup. When news broke of their split, fans just had to know why. These two were loved by so many fans, and for them to suddenly call it quits, people wanted to know what was going on. It was alleged that Zayn broke up with Perry over text, but I don't know if that was really true or not. About a week after initial reports of their split, fans learned that the couple's home was put on the market, and that apparently Zayn had asked Perry to move out of their house shortly after their breakup. Perry was having a hard time with the sudden split, even breaking down in tears on stage at one of her girl group's concerts. Meanwhile, news outlets were reporting on Zayn's parties at his Bel Air mansion. The media as well as fans were divided and choosing sides. Perry was being shown as the blindsided and broken one, while Zayn was being seen as aloof and cold. Not too long after the breakup, Zayn was seen hanging around model Gigi Hadid, and it was thought that Zayn had left Perry for Gigi. Eventually, things sort of died down between Perry and Zayn, with the two subtly shading each other every once in a while. At number 5, Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. Miley and Liam's relationship was certainly complicated. They were on and off for 10 years before ending things in 2019, and even then, their divorce was messy. Miley and Liam got married in December 2018, but after 8 months of marriage, they confirmed their split and filed for divorce. What made things messy was Miley's unexpected and sudden relationship with Caitlyn Carter. Miley and Caitlyn took a trip together after their respective relationships had ended and entered into a new romantic relationship with each other. A lot of people speculated that Miley had cheated on Liam with Caitlyn and that it was the reason why she left him, but Miley denied those allegations. Liam and Caitlyn's ex Brody Jenner were seen shading their exes for moving on like this, but eventually things cooled off. Miley and Liam's divorce was finalized in January 2020, and apparently it was a very hard time for Miley, as she referred to the divorce as death because it was so big and so public. At number 4, Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber. This is another one of those relationships that are just hard to map out because they're so all over the place and complicated. Much like Miley and Liam, Selena and Justin were on and off throughout the years, and so their breakup was just as messy because it spanned over a long time. It's almost as though they broke up in stages before finally calling it quits for good. Really, there is no official ending to their relationship because things were always up in the air. They would break up, and then the possibility of them getting back together was always there. Even when the two of them got into new relationships, things would always somehow come back to the two of them. Justin allegedly got into a fight with one of Selena's boyfriends because he still had feelings for her, and Selena would always be asked about Justin even if they weren't together. The time they spent in the news between relationships pretty much serves as their big messy breakup because, like I said before, it spanned for such a long time, it's like it was broken into phases like the MCU. I guess things officially ended for Jelena when Justin married Hailey Baldwin, and let's hope it stays that way because no one needs that toxic energy again. At number 3, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt doesn't seem to have much luck with his relationships because he has another messy breakup, but this time with Angelina Jolie. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Brad and Angelina met while Brad was still married to Jennifer Aniston, and Angie sort of replaced Jen. Though there was initially some bad blood, things died down and Brangelina was born. Brad and Angie spent 10 years together, adopting a bunch of children and living a seemingly picture-perfect Hollywood life. The two got married in 2014, but just 2 years into their marriage, they got divorced. This breakup was intense and messy, and entertainment news sources were all over this story. Soon, cheating rumors started circulating, and later the matter of the children's custody fanned the flame. During their divorce proceedings, Brad's parenting came into question as allegations were made against him that questioned their kid's situation in Brad's care. Apparently, Finally, news came out about Angie's reason for ending their decade-long relationship with Brad, citing that he had gotten into a fight with their oldest child, Maddox, which prompted Angie to reevaluate their relationship. It was tumultuous and messy, but it seems as though they're both living their lives safely and separately at this time. At number 2, Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande. Ariana and Pete's relationship took people by surprise. It was short and intense, and the breakup was messy too. The two started dating in May of 2018, and by late June, they were engaged. They fell for each other so quickly, moving in together and planning their lives together as well. But things ended as quickly as they began, and by October, they were done. After getting tattoos dedicated to each other, they were quickly covered up, and soon the shade began. Shortly after the news of their breakup was broadcast, Pete poked fun at his failed relationship in a comedy set, and Ariana then moved on to subtweeting her ex for shading her. And she even included a reference to their relationship in her song Thank You Next. There was some back and forth shading and dissing each other in more jokes and music, but that all seems to be over now. Ariana is now engaged to someone else, and everyone seems to be moving on now. And finally, at number 1, Khloe and Tristan's relationship absolutely exploded in the media because of cheating and backstabbing and just so much drama. Basically, this whole ordeal revolved around Khloe, Tristan, and Kylie Jenner's BFF, Jordyn Woods. Tristan cheated on Khloe multiple times during her pregnancy, including a few times with Jordyn Woods, who had been a family friend for years. When news of Tristan's infidelity broke, the internet went nuts, and so did the Jenner family. Khloe and Tristan ended up breaking up, and the family also broke up with Jordyn after she backstabbed the family. Kylie weighed in on this scandal, saying how heartbroken she was to find out that her best friend betrayed her like that. The breakup was also talked about on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, where Khloe's sisters, Kim and Kourtney, came to her side and seriously wanted to fight Tristan. Their relationship has been rocky ever since, as Khloe only keeps him in her life for her daughter's sake.
Starting off our list at number 10 is Katie Holmes and Jamie Foxx. This one is still pretty fresh, so if you're a fan, then it probably stings a little bit for you still. They dated for 6 years and recently called it quits before summer in May 2019. There have been a variety of different stories and versions as to why they actually broke up, but a close source to them told Entertainment Tonight, I quote, "They lived separately and in different cities and saw each other occasionally. They just both got caught up with their own families, careers, and obligations that the relationship had to take a back seat." But not long after the breakup, the pot was stirred after images surfaced of Fox partying up with some other woman. It all started when he was spotted leaving a nightclub hand in hand with LaBeouf. Katie has not commented on it, but Jamie took it to social media and did a live stream video where he stuck up for himself, saying that because they are no longer together, he can do what he wants. It was then made into a permanent post on Instagram with the caption, "For the people who care, here is the true story. For everyone else, you can keep talking and calling me a whore, slut, homewrecker, thought, gold digger, and that I should die, and whatever else you want. Because it doesn't matter to me, I am out here to work and do what I love most. Hashtag kill the double standard." This is some seriously hot tea. That was just last week, so I have no further updates for you guys. Not yet anyways. At number 9 is Gigi Hadid and Zayn Malik. Fans were speculating for months whether these two were dating or not until they confirmed it back in January 2016. But they didn't just casually say they were dating. They confirmed their relationship when Zayn dropped his music video for his single Pillow Talk and had Gigi getting all hot and heavy with him throughout it. After the video dropped, they then went on Twitter and publicly gushed about how the other one looked so hot in the video. But then they shattered the hearts of all their fans when they broke up 2 years later. They announced these long, heartfelt statements in March 2018 expressing that they still love and respect each other, but as friends. However, since then, they've kind of been all over the place. They got back together, broke up, and then got back together again. However, just a few weeks ago, it was reported that they broke up once again after Gigi was spotted spending alone time with Bachelorette's alum Tyler Cameron. So this breakup wasn't really as shocking as the first time around. Sweeping our number 8 spot is Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. The couple made headlines on multiple occasions for reasons that no couple actually wants to. They started dating back in 2016, and only 1 year later it was announced that they were expecting a child together. They seemed to have a fairy tale relationship, but then just a few days before Khloe's due date, Tristan was caught cheating on camera with a girl at a bar in Manhattan. Days before she was going into labor. That news alone would probably make me go into immediate labor. Despite the heat and backlash he faced for cheating, Khloe decided to stay with him and work things out. Things seemed to be going better for the pair until once again, hit the fan. Worse this time. Another cheating scandal surfaced of Tristan with another girl, but not just any girl, Kylie Jenner's best friend, Jordyn Woods. For those who may not know, Kylie Jenner is Khloe's younger sister, so Jordyn was basically a little sister to Khloe and hooking up with her baby daddy. Messed up. Just a few days ago, it was reported that he bought her a $400,000 Porsche as an attempt to win her back. I wish my exes would buy me a Porsche as a way to apologize. Coming to spot number 7 is Brie Larson and Alex Greenwald. They are one of the more quiet couples in Hollywood, meaning that they just stay out of the drama and scandals. They dated for several years before getting engaged back in 2016. Their wedding didn't come quickly though. They've actually been engaged ever since, until more recently when it was announced that they split. Back in January of this year, 2019, it was reported that they called off their engagement. Source came forward saying they have taken a step back from their engagement for the time being, but they remain close. It comes as a complete shock for fans because they seem like the perfect couple. Brie has often bragged about her man being her biggest supporter. She told Entertainment Tonight, I quote, "He's the other half of the equation. How can you explain support? I mean, it goes beyond anything. He's just my person. He's my best friend." There hasn't been any reasons or juicy scandals in regards to why they split, so many fans are left wondering what really happened. In at number 6 is Fergie and Josh Duhamel. They started dating back in 2004 and dated for a few years before getting engaged in 2007. They ended up tying the knot in early 2009 before becoming parents to their son Axel. What seemed like the picture-perfect family ended in September 2017 after they publicly announced their separation. Fans were shocked when they decided to call it quits after 8 years of marriage. They shared a public statement saying, "With absolute love and respect, we decided to separate as a couple earlier this year. To give our family the best opportunity to adjust, we wanted to keep this private matter before sharing it with the public. We are and will always be united in our support of each other and our family." It wasn't until this year in May 2019 that Fergie officially filed for divorce after 2 years of being separated. Fergie's rep had no comment on the divorce, and Josh's rep did not respond to their request for comment. Halfway through the list, number 5 is Skylar Astin and Anna Camp. This one makes me sad. I love them together. You would really only know who they are if you were a fan of the Pitch Perfect movie series because they starred together in it. The co-stars started dating in June 2013 and they got hitched in October 2016 at a beautiful outdoor ceremony on the Central California coast. Their split was a complete shock for people because they seemed to just have this unbreakable bond. Anna spoke about him to People magazine saying, "Knowing that I have my best friend and that we are totally committed to one another, and just to have that comfort and that safety and that bond where you know you found your person." Ugh, my heart. But after 2.5 years of marriage, in April of this year, 2019, they released a joint statement saying, "We can confirm that we have decided to separate, and this decision was made mutually and amicably. We kindly ask for privacy as we navigate this transition." They have both since unfollowed each other on social media. Up next at number 4 is Bella Hadid and The Weeknd. They first got together back in 2015 after they spent a weekend together at Coachella. Must have been a nice romantic getaway because they continued to date for over a year. From the outside looking in, they were a strong couple in Hollywood. People were surprised when reports started to surface saying they split in November 2016. The reasoning for the split was said to be because of their schedules and that they were both focusing on their work. May we never forget that iconic moment 2 weeks after their breakup when Bella walked the Victoria's Secret fashion show and he was the onstage performer. That is one way to run into your ex. Or should I say runway into your ex. Get it? Anyways, then in January of 2017 we saw pictures of The Weeknd with Selena Gomez making out, and shortly later it was confirmed that they were then dating. From that moment on, Bella started shooting the middle finger to media outlets that asked her about the new couple, but the whole angry phase didn't last very long and they got back together once he and Selena split. But once again, as of a few weeks ago, they split up again. It's just getting hard to keep up with them. The first breakup was shocking, but like now people are just used to it. Alright guys, at number 3 is Bradley Cooper and Irina Shayk. After months of tabloid speculation, their 4-year relationship was confirmed to be at a dead end. A source told E! News they want to stay together for their daughter, but neither of them are very happy. Rumors were getting out of control as to why they split. Many fans were saying Bradley had an affair with his A Star Is Born co-star, Lady Gaga. But there has been no evidence to back up this claim, and every party involved, including Irina, deny the rumor. The two of them are now co-parenting their 2-year-old daughter, but still have no comments regarding their split. Unfortunately, this leaves a lot of room for speculation. In spot number 2 is Brody Jenner and Caitlyn Carter. After pictures surfaced of Miley Cyrus making out with Caitlyn Carter after her split from Liam Hemsworth, people started to focus on Caitlyn's relationship with Brody. They first met at a party back in 2013 and they soon began dating. On May 4th, 2016, they announced their engagement, which lasted 2 years before getting married on June 2nd, 2018. They ended up getting married in Indonesia at the same resort they got engaged at. Always peaches and cream it seemed like, but they called it quits in early August of 2018. 2019, just weeks before Caitlyn was in Italy kissing Miley. But the MTV show that Brody stars on, The Hills, is airing right now and revealed that the couple was struggling for a while. In the episodes, we can see that the couple actually has a open relationship, and the other cast members are basically questioning Caitlyn if their marriage is going to work. Their co-star Ashley Waller spilled the tea on their relationship and said, "I've had a lot of conversations with Caitlyn during the season, and her and Miley and Liam and Brody would always hang out together. So I know they've been friends for a long time. I think everyone in the cast knew that it was not going to work out." I mean, an open relationship, marriage, not gonna work. Taking the number 1 spot on our list is Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande. Their relationship starting was more shocking than the relationship ending, if I'm being honest. They met each other back in 2016 when she made a guest appearance on Saturday Night Live. They started to date down the road in May 2018 and confirmed it by posting a Harry Potter theme picture together with the caption, "You tryna slither in." Only true Harry Potter fans will understand Ariana's joke. Only 1 month into dating, on June 12, 2018, they get engaged. We all thought that it was fake news because there was no way it was real, but it actually was. Wedding plans were in the talks and the couple moved in together and bought a pet pig. But only 5 months later, they broke up and called off the engagement, obviously. And as we know it, a month later she released her single called Thank You Next, which references all of her ex-boyfriends, including Pete. In the song she says, "Even almost got married, and for Pete I'm so thankful." In the music video we see a picture of her and him, and above it she wrote, "Sorry I dipped." So I guess it's safe to say that she was the one who pulled the plug.
Number 10. Megan Fox and Brian Austin Green. Megan and Brian were together for over 10 years, sharing 3 little ones during that time. The couple first met in 2004 while filming the ABC sitcom Hope and Faith. After a couple of years of dating, they got married, but just because they put a ring on it did not mean that they were exclusive. They actually got engaged and split up a couple of times before officially tying the knot. Already a red flag right there. After becoming official though, many paparazzi spotted Megan and Brian out and about with other people. Now at first we just assumed that they were close friends or something, but cheating rumors started to run rampant. As the years went by and their family grew, Megan's views on marriage started shifting. She would say that being married was a day-to-day task and it was becoming very difficult at times. Between 2015 and 2020, they were almost divorced twice, and the main reason being was the spark was just dying out and they were starting to see other people. There's a good chance that this was happening while they were still married. When the official and final divorce was filed, Megan quickly found comfort in the arms of another man, that man eventually being MGK, the man that she is still with today, and it seems like it's exclusive for now. While they never called their marriage open, they did start seeing other people while the rings were still on the finger, so definitely it counts, it counts. Number 9, Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore. Alright, what's up? I'm Ashton Kutcher and you just got put! That's something that actually used to happen on TV all the time, and it sticks in my brain and I don't like it. In case that didn't unlock the MTV vault for you that I'm sure is hidden deep within everyone's memories, allow me to enlighten you. Ashton rose to fame following his successful role on the sitcom That 70s Show, as well as his time hosting the MTV prank show Punk'd. Now he married fellow actor Demi Moore in 2005 and stayed married for nearly 8 years. The split seemed to come from nowhere. There was some speculation that Ashton ended things to be with his current wife Mila, but that speculation was revealed to be complete bull-poo-poo. In Demi's book titled Inside Out, she revealed that the cause of the split was actually due to Ashton's infidelity. Apparently, he cheated on her multiple times and actually told her about it, trying to pressure her into including a third party and create this open marriage thing that he wanted. When Ashton found out about this news becoming public, he was extremely upset. According to Ashton, he had finally gotten to a place where the media was just leaving him and his family alone, and literally the next day following the news, paparazzi were waiting for Ashton and his kids outside of their school. Not only did his cheating ruin his relationship with Demi, but it kind of caused a problem between himself and the rest of his family, so that's not good. Number 8, Lizzo and Mike Wright. During an interview on the radio show The Breakfast Club, Lizzo explained how she and her ex-partner Mike Wright were never really public, merely dropping their so-called soft launch earlier this year. But during the interview, Lizzo shared that she actually doesn't believe in the concept of monogamy, continuing by explaining her views on polyamory and so-called free love. Right on, man. She said that she didn't want to live by any specific set of rules and doubled down when another host on the show, Angela Yee, asked her if the circumstances would ever change should Wright disagree with this polyamory situation. Well, Lizzo just said, well, it's just love. If he chooses to no longer love her while she loved him, that was on him. But she claimed that they did share a lot of love and that the chances of a split were pretty unlikely. Well, whether it was that comment or the fact that she is being sued for some pretty gnarly stuff, Mike decided to leave the superstar in search of a new life. Probably the best decision he's ever made. Number 7, Scott Disick and Khloe Kardashian. Keeping Up with the Kardashians is a historical series in the world of reality TV. For over a decade, fans have been able to watch this family grow, both literally and figuratively, with the addition of friends, family, and in this case, ex-lovers. Scott and Kourtney's story began where all fairy tale relationships begin, at a famous friend's house in Mexico. In 2006, the pair attended a mutual friend's party at his home in Mexico, and a photograph from that night shows that they were sitting together, but they were nowhere near each other. Disick recounted liking Kourtney immediately, but that she wanted, nothing to do with him. But something must have changed in between A and B, as the two appeared as a couple on the series premiere of the reality show in 2007. At first, the family was standoffish, claiming that Scott was just immature and that his loyalties seemed to mean nothing because he might have been doing some stuff behind the cameras. Kris Jenner, Kourtney's mom, said in one episode that she knows that Scott was cheating on her daughter, but that she wasn't sure how to go about the situation. Disick denied the claims and reaffirmed that he loved Kourtney until he could deny no longer when sisters Kim and Khloe found a series of texts on an old phone from someone named My Wife, and well, it wasn't Kourtney. The text revealed that he had cheated on her while the family was staying in the Hamptons, and Kim was furious for about 2 seconds, and a year later she would announce that the pair were expecting their first child together, making the whole cheating thing just seem like water under the bridge. Well, it didn't stop, because over the years the couple split and healed over and over again, and one time Scott Disick even entered rehab with the support of Kourtney, and he still went out and did stuff behind her back. They split only to get back together again and again and again, and as of today they seem to have called it quits for good, but good lord, that is a very complicated relationship. Number 6, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. In 2015, Will Smith starred in a film called Focus, in which he played a con man in the midst of his latest scheme when a woman from his past, played by Margot Robbie, arrives and just throws everything for a loop. Timing of this film being made could not have been more perfect, as we know now that Will and Jada were taking a break during that time. For Jada, this meant an entanglement with August Alsina, and for Will, this might have meant some time for himself and Margot Robbie. They were free to rehearse their scenes in private, if you know what I mean. It was confirmed that Margot and Will weren't seeing each other during production of Focus, because there were a lot of pictures, but Jada Pinkett Smith was certain about it. Despite being legally married in 1997, the institutionalized concept of tying the knot just never really sat with Jada Pinkett Smith. Apparently she only married Will because she was pregnant with Jaden and felt that it was the right move to make, which is always a healthy way to start the marriage. Force. While Jada herself is also a cheater and has publicly admitted it, she's held a grudge towards Margot Robbie for 8 years, but there's never been any proof, and for some reason she's mad, even though there have been several times when these two have been like, oh, we're in an open marriage, isn't it neat? Well, Will and Jada might still be together for now, but I think we can all agree that they just need to get split already. Now, there are not a ton of public open marriages in the world of Hollywood these days. Oh, shocker. So why don't we just cover some cheater pumpkin eaters that have been exposed over the last couple of years. Number 5, Mod's son and Avril Lavigne. This year, shocking reports hit the internet claiming that Avril Lavigne had called off her engagement to Mod's son. Well, a TMZ insider claimed that things had been on and off for a while as the couple tried to mend their romance. But then when they got in touch with the Karma Singer team, a rep declared that the last thing he heard was the couple had been engaged, and that was only 3 days prior, so anything else would be news to him. Well, Avril Lavigne had been spotted out and about with a man named Tyga, who she claimed was just a friend. But the internet likes to gossip, so the headlines were Avril Lavigne cheats on Mod's son. 1 week after his tour started and the news broke, he posted a series of photos on Instagram, making reference to a broken heart, and knowing that there is a plan for everyone. Mod thanked his fans and then went dark. Since then, the two have been drenched in rumors, but the only thing that has been confirmed is these two now reside in Splitsville. Number 4, Corey Feldman and Courtney Ann. Former Lost Boys star Corey Feldman has had a pretty rough life. Things have not gone great for this man, and unfortunately that applies to the love department as well. After 7 years of marriage, he and his ex Courtney announced their split. According to Corey, life was just simply difficult for the couple, and the split was a mutual decision. However, one aspect he did not share with the world was the fact that for the past few years they were in an alleged open marriage. While this was just a speculation, the couple were known to be free spirits, so to speak. Following some health issues, according to Corey, it just didn't make sense for these two to stay married. He decided to give her time to heal alone, while he just kinda continues to do his thing. Number 3, Natalie Portman and Benjamin Millipede. After 11 years of marriage, it was recently announced that Thor: Love and Thunder star Natalie Portman and her husband Benjamin Millipede will be separating following a pretty public and messy affair on Ben's part. Ben, who I assume was named after a children's cartoon, was spotted with a 25-year-old climate activist. While Natalie Portman was mad, she initially tried to work things out with Ben in an attempt to save their marriage, but the affair put a massive strain on the relationship. Shocker. The couple had met on set of the 2009 drama Black Swan, Ben acting as a scriptwriter for that project. While the affair had shaken their relationship, when asked about the issues by Us Weekly, he said that he shared her pain and that he was sending her a new script. Huh? While they may still be working together professionally, emotionally they have checked out. Number 2, Drake Bell and Janet Von Schmeling. Drake was a small screen sweetheart in the early 2000s, starring in several Nickelodeon shows like Drake and Josh and The Amanda Bynes Show, and he was on track to be a megastar in the world of Hollywood, but he's unfortunately one of those child actors who took a turn for the worse. He starred in a number of low-budget movies over the years, but his status as a celebrity was gone. The final nail was driven into the coffin in 2021 when Drake was sentenced to 2 years of probation and 200 hours of community service after it was revealed that he had been grooming a young fan for years. So if you see him in an orange jumpsuit on the side of the street or something, or cleaning graffiti, that's why. Recently it was announced that his wife Janet had filed for a divorce from Drake following a situation where he was literally missing for 5 days on a bender doing God knows what with strange women. On the actual paperwork, Vaughn has cited irreconcilable differences and has requested legal and physical custody of the younglings. Now in April of this year, Drake was reported missing, only to turn up completely unharmed 5 days later. According to Janet, Drake's mental health has been slowly declining in the last few years, but his toxicity towards his partners is nothing new, as his ex Melissa Lingefelt accused him of being verbally manipulative and physically violent. Between his rocky history and declining mental health, we're happy to see that Janet got out of there before anything too crazy took place. Who knows how bad of a dad he will be? We all know he can't build a treehouse. And at number 1, Shanine Doherty and Kurt Israyenko. This past April, the alumni of Charmed filed for a divorce from her husband Kurt after 11 years of marriage. She was photographed in March without her wedding ring on display, causing many to assume that the divorce had been something they were planning for quite some time. As with most celebrities who file for a divorce, the couple cited irreconcilable differences, and Shanine claimed that divorce was the last thing she wanted. Unfortunately, her husband left her no choice. While there was no real confirmation on what was happening behind the scenes, according to Shanine herself, Kurt's agent intimately involved with their divorce. Neither Kurt nor his agent have spoken out about the rumors, probably because they're too busy getting down. Ooh.